Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So for those of you that have a Boss GT-100 guitar processor effects board, like I do, if you're running on a Mac and you have Osx Catalina, everything is now up there for you to be able to use your GT-100 on Catalina on a Mac. Now, there is a system program firmware update at the top of the list here. You will need to make sure that you are running version 2 of the firmware in your board. Okay, and you'll see that when you first boot up the board. It'll tell you what version you're running. So version 2, you're good to go. So you either will or will not need this particular file. Boss Tone Studio version 1.1.3 for Mac OS X. You will also need that. You are also going to need the version 2 driver for the GT-100, version 2.1.3 for Mac OS 10.1.5. Now recently I got another Mac OS update, and I just installed this program today because I wanted to go with a full screen today because I want to do some programming on the board in full screen. And so I reinstalled the program fresh on my Mac. So, I mean, Catalina has only been back on my Mac now for a couple of weeks because I put an SSD drive in my Mac not that long ago. And I ended up doing a fresh install in the end of Catalina. So this is the first time the program's been in this computer with Catalina with a fresh OS. And already been updated a couple of days ago for the OS as well. So anyways, as you can see, the program does actually run in here. When you first boot it up, of course, the first thing you need to do is install the driver. Okay? Then it'll ask you to reboot the computer. Then you install Boss Tone Studio. Then you fire up Tone Studio after you've already plugged in your GT-100 to your USB port. So you got to make sure it's plugged in first. It'll give you a choice between the GT-100 or whatever USB device you have for your sound already, in which case I have a Focusrite box, so it comes up with the Focusrite and gives me a choice between that and the GT-100. So you choose the GT-100, click OK, and it fires you right up and you're ready to rock and roll in here. So I just wanted to give you guys a really quick update on this. I noticed on my channel I didn't do a Catalina update for this device. GT-1000 pedal board users, Katana, Mark 1, Mark 2 users for the Katanas. You guys are already be ready to go for Catalina, have been for quite a while, etc., etc. So if you want to do a more specific search, go to Google and just type into Google your Boss device. Okay, so let's say you want the ME80, right? So Google, because I used to have an ME80 at one time, actually a couple of times. So we go in here and we type in Boss ME-80. I keep my my searches pretty generic. You know, keep it simple, stupid theory. Catalina. So it'll come up here, and we're gonna go and we're gonna click on. Actually, what we could do is actually click on the actual ME80 one here. My internet's a little slow. Everybody's on the internet right now. Okay, so we've got ME80 here, and you'll notice Mac OS 10.1.5 is there. So if you have the Boss ME80, you're definitely also going to be Catalina ready. So you will need the driver for Catalina, and you're going to want to re-download the Boss Tone Studio. Now if you've already got Tone Studio in your computer, already and it's not working because you've got Catalina on your computer, uninstall your current driver and uninstall the current Boss Tone Studio for your Boss devices, and then reinstall the new stuff fresh and clean. That's the best way to guarantee that you're going to be working, because otherwise you're going to have two programs in there for, say, Boss Tone Studio, two different drivers, and the drivers don't always list themselves as this is the version for this, and people have been getting errors show up and it's frustrating them. So I've been telling people, just uninstall your current driver, current Boss Tone Studio, download the new stuff for 10.1.5 Catalina, and install clean, and you shouldn't have any problems at all. Just always make sure that you plug your USB device into your computer after you've already installed the driver and the Tone Studio. Then you can fire up Tone Studio, select your device from the list, and voila. Anyways, that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.